अस्मत् आचार्य पर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरु परम्परा. Actually, I didn't prepare much for the talk today because it was a last minute thing. So I just would like to say something. Okay, today is Guru Purnima, right? Niki Guru Purnima is a very auspicious day. I mean, for all human beings. Everybody who wants to progress in spiritual life must have Guru. This is what Swami Shivananda says. He says he don't believe in anybody saying that I don't need Guru. Everybody must have a Guru. Even Swami Shivananda also had a Guru. Swami Vishwananda, he had a Guru. So, Guru is a walking God on earth. Guru is none other than Paramashivan himself. So, and Guru, he must lead by example. A Sadguru will lead by example. He must know the scriptures and he knows how to lead his disciple in the right path. So that is the Guru. So today we are celebrating the day of Guru. Guru Purnima inki. Guru ada nalu nama celebrate pannuvom. Today also they call it Vyasa Purnima. Iniko Vyasa Purnima nu kuduvaanga because today is the day, the birth day of Veda Vyasa. And in Buddhism also, இன்னைக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப auspicious day because today is the day where Buddha gave the first sermon to his 4 disciples in Sarnath. Today is the auspicious day. At the same time, it's an auspicious day for Jainism. It honors Lord Mahavir's first disciple, Gautam Swami. So that's why it's a very auspicious day. And also, it's called Chaturmasya month. These 4 months, starting from last Ekadasi was last Sunday until the Ekadasi in November. Until then they call it Chaturmasya. So these 4 months actually is India is Malakala. So adanale all the saints, sages, householders, what they will do, they will just stay put in one place and they will study the scriptures, do meditation. Adanale da in the time வந்து கல்யாணம் கிரக பிரவேசம் ஒன்றும் வைக்க மாட்டாங்க. Because everybody have to get themselves involved in spiritual work. அது என்ன ஆடி மாதம் பேக் மாதம் இல்லை, ஆடி மாதம் எல்லாம் நல்ல மாதம் தான். Only thing during this month they won't have any this kind of celebration because all have to be involved into in this kind of auspicious or spiritual. That's the thing. Okay, so this is not my topic for today. My topic for today is okay. Now is Guru Purnima. Then after that we have Swadhana week. Then after that we have Samadhi, Gurudev Mahasamadhi. So I'm going to talk about Swami Shivananda's sadhana as Swargashram. Okay, he spent 10 years in Swargashram after he took sannyas and before he set up Himalaya Society. Swargashram எங்க இருக்குன்னா நீங்க ரிஷிகேஷ் ஆசிரம் போனீங்கன்னா இப்போ வந்து சிவானந்தா தபஸ்யா புத்திரின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. You got to cross the Ramjula, you turn to your left is where Swargashram is. So the Swargashram is no more, but where Swami Shivananda had his room, we call it Tapasya Putri. His room is now being preserved by Divine Life Society. So the room வந்து ஒன்றும் அங்கே தான் இருக்கு. Is cross Ramjula. So Swami Shivananda Gurudev was born in 1887 in the town called Pattamadi, a small town. அதெல்லாம் சொல்ல தேவையில்லை, அந்த ஹிஸ்ட்ரிலாம் சொல்லுங்க. He came to Malaysia, he became a doctor, he came to Malaysia and then after that while in Malaysia he had inner thirst for God realization. So he said, what he said? I heal bodies as a doctor, I heal bodies, but I long to know the soul. So he wanted to know the soul. So he was not happy what he's doing in Malaysia. So what he did, he left Malaysia. He came to Pattamadi. Some say he didn't come to Pattamadi. He just left thing through somebody and sent back. But in this book, I'm referring to this book called Biography of the Modern Sage, Swami Shivananda. This book is written by a compilation of stories from some Swamijis who are close to Gurudev. He said he went back to Pattamadi. He left everything there. He just stood in front of the door and he disappeared. He never saw anybody, he never spoke to anybody. He left all his things there and he disappeared. And then he came to Benares. He went to Benares, he went to Kashi Vishwanath temple, and he prayed to Kashi Vishwanath, I don't know what is my destination, what am I going to do, everything I surrender to you. You are there, you are everything to me. And then he lived like a life of இன்னைக்கு சாப்பாடு தான் இருக்கு இல்லைன்னா இல்லை. So he was very much into deep meditation, into charity work, and whatever little money he had during that time, that also he gave to charity. So he wasn't he was not with money, and he lived with whatever he had. People give food, he will eat. If no food, no food. But he was very much into meditation, doing sadhana and all that things. Then from Banaras, he went to Pandharpur. He's in Maharashtra, and from Banaras to Pandharpur is very far. He went to Pandharpur. Then from Pandharpur, he came to Rishikesh in May 1924. He came to Rishikesh. Okay. So while in Rishikesh, also same thing. He just lived with whatever he had. And then what happened? One day, there's one place called Kali Kamlawa in Rishikesh. There is a satram where they give food only to sannyas. And so Shivananda went. Shivananda went to take food. They didn't allow him. They didn't give him food because they only give food to sannyas. So as he was backing out, he met Swami Vishwananda. Swami Vishwananda, he said, "What are you doing here?" So I came to take food, but I cannot get food because I'm not a sannyas. So Swami Vishwananda said, "Okay, I'll give you sannyas now itself." So that's how Swami Vishwananda, he is a guru, one of the guru from the Sringeri Math. So he gave sannyas, and Swami Vishnu Devananda from Kailash Ashram did his Vrajavama. Because when you take sannyas, you have to do Vrajavama. Vrajavama is a omam, is the last omam you do that உங்களுக்கே அது கடைசி last right say the மாதிரி. That is the Vrajavama. So once you do the Vrajavama, consider like you are not living in the body, you are living on the soul. So that's why they say sannyas cannot do any rituals work, and they cannot participate in any ritual because you already did your Vrajavama. You are not living by this body, you are living by the soul. So that's why. So he did his Vrajavama. Okay. From there, he went to different places. After that, he went to Nilkant. He stayed in small kutir there, and the places where he stayed, all either a cow shed where he clean up and he make it to his room, or a room where he went to Swargashram is a room. ஓடு கூட இல்லையா, அது ஓடு வந்து one green is a creepers, growing on top. That is the shape. And then is nothing, is the no wall is full of heap of stones. And then it's very dilapidated. What we call the room. So what he will do? He will go, he will clean up, and then he will stay in. Okay. So when he was in Swargashram, he did a lot of tapas. And what tapas he did? He meditated 12 to 14 hours a day. Japa in freezing waters. So morning 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, he will go until the, what you call it, chest high. He will do meditation in Ganga. நம்ம வந்து கங்கால குளிக்கணும், மணி தான் 12 மணிக்கு தான் குளிப்போம். 5 மணிக்கு தான் அவர் வந்து கங்கால நின்றுட்டு ஜப்பா பண்ணுவார். And he will observe Mauna. Few hours a day he will observe Mauna. And he was focused on scriptures and yoga. So all these few things Gurudev did. I read them. You see, Dr. Kuppuswamy returned to India months ago. He went straight to his native place. From the railway station, he engaged a few carts to carry his things that he had brought with him and took them home. He was standing outside as the servants and the people of the household were busy unloading the things and taking them inside. All of a sudden, most mysteriously, he disappeared. So he was just standing there, people busy carrying, he just disappeared. People were looking for him, and then they couldn't find him. So Dr. Kuppuswamy left Madras by train with Benares at his destination. So he wanted to go to Benares. So when he was in Benares, he was not used to the North Indian habits. So he doesn't even know Hindi. So he find it very difficult. Even நீங்க காசிக்கு போனீங்கன்னா அந்த டீ குடியும் அந்த clay cupல தான் கொடுப்பாங்க. But what he did, the storekeeper give the clay cup, he drank the tea, he wash and drink it. Actually, you're supposed to take and throw it away. So the storekeeper got very irritated and disarmed. Then, after that, he became a domestic servant to a postmaster. He met a postmaster. The postmaster gave him a place to stay. But he said, I refuse to stay without, I'm not going to stay for free. I don't want to stay and what they call that, and eat for free. So I want some work, you must give him. So the postmaster refused to give in the beginning. So after pestering by Gurudev, he gave him work to take care of the cows and all that. And give him a very minimum salary. அதான் இங்க சொல்றாங்க Kuppuswamy made himself a domestic servant of the postmaster. He got less than the salary he paid his own cook when he was in Malacca. You see? And then on the 8th May 1924, Kuppuswamy reached Rishikesh, the obscure spot by the Ganga, a place quite unknown to any of the outside world. Those days, Rishikesh was not famous. Good outside world, save the few who hungered for God realization. So he found that is the ideal place for God realization. On the 1st June 1924, as he was taking bath in Ganga, there came His Holiness Swami Vishwananda Saraswati, belonging to the Sringeri monk of Sankaracharya. The doctor and the monk were attracted to each other. The doctor saw a guru in the monk, and the monk saw his chela, disciple, in the doctor. Swami Vishwananda ji took Kuppuswamy to his kutir. After resting a while, the doctor went to Kali Kamlawala. That's how he went to Kali Kamlawala, asking for food, and they refused to give Gurudev. And then, when Swami Vishwananda came and gave him sannyas on the spot. See, as he retracted his steps, Swami Vishwananda ji again met him. After exchanging a few words, Dr. Kuppuswamy was initiated into sannyasa order by His Holiness Swami Vishwananda ji. The religious rite of Richa Homa was done by Sri Vishnu Devananda ji, Maharaj of Kailas. Okay. So this is Swami Gurudev's own words. Why he chose to settle in Rishikesh is told in Swamiji's own words. Rishikesh is a holy place for many holy men. There are almshouses to provide free food to all monks, yogis and aspirants. They can stay in any of the kutirs, single room cottages, or have their own thatched cottages and huts in many places. Near about Rishikesh, there are many charming places like Brahmapuri, Nilakanda, Vashishta Gua and Tapovala. Monks who stay in such places get their dry rations once in 15 days and prepare their own food. Scenery of the Himalayas is charming and soul elevating. The holy Ganga is a blessing. One can spend hours in contemplation sitting on the rock or on the sandbank on the side of Ganga. There are some libraries from where one can get authoritative works on yoga, philosophy in Sanskrit, English and Hindi. Some learned men conduct regular classes and give private tuition to deserving students. The climate is pleasant. slightly cold in winter but slightly hot in summer. There are allopathic and Ayurvedic hospital to attend to the sick. Thus, I found an ideal place for intense and undisturbed spiritual practice for all seekers of the truth. So that's why Gurudev chose Rishikesh as his place. Swamiji was in search of a shelter from the pouring rain. To sit and sing the names of Lord, he wanted a roof over his head, but he was eager that such a dwelling should be far away from crowds. He always wanted places far away from crowd or even pilgrims, because he wants to do his own sadhana. Kolkat in Rishikesh offered him the best choice. It was far from the market and small township of Rishikesh. He found out the timings for Bhiksha. So his food is always Bhiksha. He just go and take alms. There's no such thing that people come and give him food or whatever. He decided that he would present himself in alms houses. He went house to house and took alms. So he just took this Bhiksha. So we cannot say, all Guru, one dollar straight away, everything given by God. They also went through a lot. So then from there, he went to Swargashram. In Swargashram is where he did his real sadhana. The first few years of Swamiji austerity was spent totally homelessly. He never had any proper. Here today, there tomorrow. And the day after will look after himself, was his attitude. He stayed in Nilakant Hills, wrote his commentary in Katha Upanishad. While in Nilakant Hills, he wrote a commentary in Katha Upanishad during this period. Later, with the view of devoting more time to prayer and meditation, he moved to Swargashram. From Nilakant, he went to Swargashram. There, he lived in a small kutir, 8 feet by 10 feet, with a small veranda and depended on Kali Kamkawala, Kshetra for food. So he had to go to Kali Kamkawala. I did not see his own words. I did not spend much time in cleaning the teeth. See his sadhana. I did not spend much time in cleaning the teeth, washing clothes, and bathing. I quickly finished this. Then I was a bit free for my sadhana, study, and service. I never depended on disciple or anyone who was waiting opportunities to serve me. He never waited for people to serve me. I had fixed times for all items of work, such as study, writing notes, and letters, to spiritual aspirants. Exercises, going out for food. Gradually, people came to me in large numbers. That seriously affected my systematic work, because he had a system. So people come looking for him, seriously disturb his systematic work. With the permission of the authorities of the ashram, I fixed up barbed wire around my kutir and locked the gate. Before, the visitors did not know my erudition by discussing high philosophy at length. I gave them short hints and practical sadhana. He only give his disciples short hints and practical sadhana. Dispose them in 5 minutes. Because he wants to do sadhana, he just gives short and dispose them in 5 minutes. I kept signboard at the entrance and my compound. Interview 4 to 5. For 5 minutes at a time only. During winter, the devotees were not many. I utilized this time for brisk walk in the compound, singing bhajan and songs. For some days, I would come out of my room, eating only the remnants of dry bread I kept in my daily alms. Thus, intense sadhana was my goal. His work is only to do sadhana. My joy was indescribable when I spent hours in the evening on the sand banks of Ganga, or sitting the fine rock of the wonderful Mother Nature. I become one with nature. Of the Swakashram days, devotee Sri Rajgiri, one of Gurudev's associates, said, Swamiji was characterized by such extreme dispassion that he used to deny himself even the barest necessity in life. He did not spare himself even regard to diet and covering. Rather than daily tolerate the interruption of his spiritual practices which the visit to the Kshetra entailed. He preferred to keep the body on stale bread. So instead of wasting time to go and take alms, he will rather eat stale bread and do sadhana, do meditation, do japa. That's why he would keep bread with him for several days. And after drying, it would dip in the Ganga. That's why they say his food was dried chapati, dried one. He will keep 5 days. Dried chapati, and the sauce will be Ganga water. So he will dip in Ganga water and eat. That's all his food. It meant that sometimes he would subsist for 1 week on a ration of one day. That is, only eat one time a day. Thus, day after day, using every moment of his precious time, he did not waste his time. He used every moment of his precious time for meditation, japa, worship. He made unsalted, tasteless bread as his main meal. So instead of wasting time cooking and all that, he eat all this dried bread he get as alms for him to eat. He did not waste that. He had only 2 pieces of cloth that he wore on his person. His room was severely bare of any article. Room is empty, don't have anything, except a solitary water pot and a blanket. There was a time when he gave away his only blanket to poor pilgrim, shivered in his thin cotton cloth, until Providence, in the shape of kind visitors, supplied him with new blanket. இருக்கிற ஒரு பிளாங்கெட்டும் அவர் அதுவும் கொடுத்தாரு, and he shivered. To do japa, he used to wake up very early in the morning of the night. Sorry, very early, closing watches of the night, and plunging into the waters of Ganga, he would stand waist deep in the water, commence his rosary, continuing until the sun rose up in the heavens. So in the middle of the night, he will go, he will sit there, do japa until next morning when the sun comes. Only after invoking the deity through the sun and worshipping it, he will clamber out of the cold waters. This, coupled with Spartan fare, resulted in severe type of chronic diarrhea. Because he's sitting there, the water is so cold, until he had chronic diarrhea. Lumbago is another disease where you stand too long in cold water. Was another result, as well as a state of diabetes brought onto by intense strain of prolonged periods of mental concentration. Because of prolonged periods of mental concentration, he contracted a type of diabetes. Yet in later years, Swamiji would point, he will do all this. By later years, Swamiji would point to seekers who did not wear a shirt in the winter as one who far excelled him in austerity, and would later years Swamiji would point to a seeker who did not wear a shirt in winter. He would scold. He won't scold Swamiji. Another Swamiji, why are you sitting in the water? It's so cold. Do you want to get lumbago? And would not reveal during the Swargashanam days. When one of his disciples, Swami Paramananda, first entered Swamiji's kutir, this is what he saw in his room. Inside the room, in a corner, there was heap of dry bread, many bundles of paper, deal wood boxes with a number of bottles, and a few trunks with logs. On the plate, he offered me some biscuits and some almonds. This biscuit was Huntley and Palmer biscuit. He ate dry bread, but whenever people come, he give biscuit. Huntley and Palmer. So, அந்த காலத்துல வந்து ரொம்ப high class biscuit இருக்கும். Swami Paramananda himself could not make out the relationship between Swami and dry bread and biscuit. Say, why is dry bread and biscuit? Cannot relate the what do you call that relationship. The problem was solved for him. However, the next day, Swamiji took him to the Kshetra for alms. Wherever other monks carried small piece of cloth and small vessel for bread and other for dal, Swamiji will carry 3-4 kingdom, he will carry 3-4 vessels. In this vessel, he used to take milk and curd. After leaving his bread and dal in the kutir, so he will take all these milk and curd and all that, and bread and all that. What he will do? The milk, the bread and dal he will leave in his kutir. Bread and dal in his kutir. He will walk to Richmond Jula with the vessels containing milk and curd and distribute them to the ailing monks. So he will take all these and distribute. The dry bread was for himself. Biscuit and almonds was for others. Thus did Swami Paramananda discover. As his heart filled with mercy, he keeps several things in his kutir to serve the sick and poor. So Gurudev will always keep 3 things with him. Number 1, food, curd, dal, ghee, milk. This is to give all the ailing monks and all that. He will eat only dry bread dipped in Ganga water. And then another thing, medicine box. That's what they call it, the dilute box. Dilute box is all medicine box. For him to treat people, ailing monks, old monks, to serve the monks, pilgrims who's going to Badrinath, Kedarnath, to serve them. And papers to write books, write commentary, to write articles. These are the 3 and to distribute all the pamphlets and all that. These are the 3 main things you will have in him. You won't have any other possessions. If one watched Swamiji's evening meal, one will understand his dispassionate nature. The morning dry bread is his evening meal, and water of Ganga is his sauce. Ambulan chili sauce, tomato sauce, or Ganga water sauce. Swamiji used to keep a small pocket notebook, the whip saga, in which he would record what he wanted to remind himself of. He used to maintain it regularly. It gives a glimpse of intense and integral austerities that he practiced in Swatrashya. More time would be spent, this is what he wrote in his book, more time should be spent in meditation and meditation alone. Even 12 to 16 hours daily. Even study and medical treatment should be given up after some time. Even medical treatment which is doing should be given up some time to do meditation. Winter must be well utilized. That is the best time for meditation. For a month or 15 days, leave Swargashram without informing anybody. Take 2 clothes, 1 blanket, roam about along the banks of Ganga. Canal from Haridwar to Miro. From Haridwar to Miro. Miro one day is, I think, before Rishikesh, before Haridwar. I think from Haridwar to Miro is before Haridwar. So if you're coming from Delhi, it's before Haridwar. It's quite a distance. Okay? Observe silence on these days. Do not talk to villagers. Okay? Serve the bangis. Bangis means scavengers. Serve rogues. Serve inferiors. Eat from Mohammedans' hand. Remove fecal matters. That means clean up people who are paralyzed or whatever. Clean clothes of sadhus. Take delight. That means must be happy to clean clothes of sadhus. Carry water for people helping to carry water. There is nothing to be hated in this world. Hatred is ignorance. All contempt for anything or any being must be removed by love and vichar. You must not hurt anybody. Any vengeful this one you have, you must be removed. Forget like a child an injury done by somebody immediately. Never keep up in the heart. It kindles hatred. Cultivate Maitri, friendliness, Karuna, compassion, Daya, mercy, Prem, divine love, Shama, forgiveness. Do not revenge. Resist not evil. Return good for evil. Bear insult injury. Akroda, angerless state. Nirvaira, hateless state. Okay? Develop good manners, extreme politeness, courtesy, etiquette, good demeanor, nobility, gentleness, mildness. Never be rude, harsh, or cruel. Namaskara sadhana. Give salutation and prostration the first to everybody. Give up salt, give up sugar, give up spices, give up vegetables, give up chilies, and give up tamarind. So this is the sadhana which Gurudev did. Actually, in this book, his life in Swargashram for 10 years, there's a lot of, it's quite a long article. So, you can read the book. So this, I'm only giving a gist of what sadhana Gurudev did. I also want to also give some information. After Swargashram, Swamiji started Himalaya Society. So Himalaya Society, what is the aim of Himalaya Society? How many of us know what is the aim of Himalaya Society? Yeah. But what is the what is the aim? The aims and objectives stated in the trust deed were as follows: to disseminate spiritual knowledge by publication of books, pamphlets, magazines dealing with ancient and oriental Hindu philosophy, religion and medicine in modern and scientific manner, and their distribution on such terms as may appear expedient to the Board of Trustees. By propagating Harinam, that is the objective. By establishing centers and societies for yogic training and moral regeneration through puja, bhakti, jnana, karma, and hatha yoga, with systematic training in asanas, pranayama, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. And by doing all such acts and things as may be necessary and conducive to the spiritual upliftment of mankind in general, and to the attainment of the above mentioned objects is Bharata Varsha in particular. Bharata Varsha is India. To establish and run schools, colleges, and other institutions on modern lines, write basic principles and help deserving students by granting refundable or non-refundable scholarship for doing research in various branches of Hindu Shastras. To help deserving widows, orphans, and other destitute people by rendering them such assistance such as society may deem proper to render, whether in any individual case or any particular class of cases. To establish and run medical dispensaries or any other medical institution for free treatment of disease, dispensing of medicine to the poor in particular and to other public in general, and or on such terms may be deemed expedient by the Board of Trustees. Okay? And another one I want to share, how to qualify to be a Himalaya Society member. Members of Himalaya Society in particular and all Sankirtan loving experience and devotees in general must make a point to write at least one mala, 108, of their Guru Mantra in the Mantra book every day. In case they fail to do so, they must make up the deficiency the next day. So if you fail to write 108 today, tomorrow you must write 108 times 2. Every member of society must make a point to keep a spiritual day. Every member of the society must make a point to strictly follow the rules. Rules number 1, 3, 7, 9, 12, 14, 15, 17, 19, laid down in the spiritual instructions. One is clear. Every member of the society must make it a point not to smoke, not to drink, or not to eat meat at all costs. Every member of the society must make it a point to do at least one mala of mantra japa as penance. Whenever he fails to do so, his duty as far as his pledge to the observance of truth and non-violence and treating the path of God realization is concerned. That means, if he failed to do japa one day, his observance of truth and God realization is at jeopardy. Every member of the society must make it a point not to go to cinemas and talkies, etc. And abstain from fashion at all costs. That every member of the society must try to serve the country. Okay, it doesn't mean whether it's India, Malaysia, whatever. Must try to serve the country and use as far as practicable country-made barang buatan Malaysia, cloth and country-made goods only. That every member of the society all over India, this is for India, must make it a point to use Hindi only. He didn't say Kerala, he said Hindi only. As far as nationality is concerned. That every branch center of the society must try to conduct daily morning class in Brahma Muhurta and put forth in the routine for the branches. That means all branches must conduct the classes at Brahma Muhurta. It is clear from above that the sole aim with which Swamiji established Himalaya Society was to lead everybody along the path of divine life, the path of God realization. He never mixed his word. He clearly stated the duties of the members and gave them 100% practical instruction to guide them to the goal of God realization. He demonstrated clearly that his was an institution that had no axe to grind, but that it shared his burning desire to see that everybody benefited by his teaching, that everybody might be free from the misery of birth and death. That was his aim, to get everybody free from the cycle of birth and death.